All right. Time for some pinball hot takes. And you started off because it's going to inevitably screw up my pictures, and I'm going to have to cycle through those.
All right, so we're gonna do some hot takes, and we're also going to upload these and kind of have these cut out on our YouTube channel, so it can be enjoyed for years to come in a bite-sized fashion.
Yep,
This is I call this, Kevin titled this hot takes, which I think is better marketing terms. I'm gonna call it impressions because we're not in a position to review these games. And I don't know if we ever will be in a position to review these games just because of access to it. So we're going to start off first with Oktoberfest. And Oktoberfest is made by American Pinball. They had a lot of them at TPF to play, which was cool. And this is the first time that I saw it in person live and got to play it. Well, we kind of heard things up until then. And I got to say, you know, I think some people don't like the theme. I'm kind of positive on the theme of Oktoberfest because as an operator, we've got a lot of our games in breweries and bars, so a beer-themed pinball kind of makes sense. And people clamor for original themes. So here's an original theme. You think about some of the themes made in pinball, like Future Spa. I mean, we don't even have to go to extreme like that. But like there used to be a day where they just made any theme and anything, and it doesn't have to make sense. It could be the craziest thing in the world. I think Oktoberfest as a theme can certainly make sense. It's not crazy, and it can have sort of a natural home. Stepping up to the game, I thought it had some curb appeal. It's rather attractive with the colors in it, and I think what it does, sort of just kind of looking at it visually, is it looks like it's fun because of the colors, and I think that's important. Not all pinball games have to look kind of these kind of bright colors, right? You know, you can have a game like Walking Dead because of the theme, it's darker and like that. But this just looks like it's just a fun, bright game to play. It almost harkens back to maybe like the 90s or something like that in it. So I liked how it looked. The theme is fine. I think the art's solid. It looks kind of like it looks legit. It looks like sturdy. It looks like quality in the wire ramp forms. There's nothing like chintzy about this game. Well, almost nothing chintzy about this game, right? But let's get into the let's get into the meat and potatoes of the game, right?
The gameplay. Can I just talk about the theme?
Absolutely. I went on too much. Kevin, please talk about the theme.
As a non-drinker, as someone who is not German, as someone who it's not October all the time, it's. I could not find a theme that does less for me than this. I think this is like, wouldn't even want it in my house. It's like, no thanks. The only thing I think that kind of redeems it a little bit theme-wise is that they focus more on like an amusement park feel than strictly beer, but there's a lot of beer in it. There's a lot of beer. There's a lot of busty ladies. What are you going to do? It's and I won't even get into the display yet because I'm sure we're getting to that.
Yeah. So let's talk about the game itself, right? I mean, that's what matters. Sound wise, you couldn't hear any sound in any games there, so it's not. Yeah, I have no idea what this game sounds like. Gameplay wise, I will say this: it's not a cut and paste play field. Design layout. I mean, you see similarities there, but it looks like this is its own game, right? It's not like, oh, this game is exactly like XYZ. That's not the case. The majority of the shots are fine. There's not necessarily weird shots, but there is issues with this game. For example, the left ramp is inexplicably steep. It's a
crazy.
Far left ramp I don't think there's a steeper pinball ramp out there. And this was a problem because there was a number of games there. The first game I played there, impossible to make it up the ramp. This could be because of the pitch of the game, which didn't seem crazy. This could be because the flippers were getting weak. I don't know, but this just goes to show that you have a game like this, and if it's not perfect, then it's not going to make up this ramp. And you know how games are on location. The pitch is all over the place. Flippers become weak over time. That's where you lock multi-balls. That's how you start a multi-ball, is that left ramp. You cannot hit a main shot in this game. I don't know if and how they fix this. And we've played more than one game there. And it was a problem of all the games. Some games I was able to make the ramp, but it wasn't consistent either. I mean, you're like crossing your fingers that you can hit the ramp, and a lot of times it had to be the ball was sort of in motion on the flipper, right? You couldn't just stop from a stalled position.
Exactly.
I don't get it. I mean, you just look at this ramp and you're like, how did somebody make that? I mean, it just looks impossible. I kind of blown away by that. The other issue with the game, I would say, the side ramp, like the upper ramp. Mm-hmm. That was just like, I mean, I hit it 1 out of like 6 times. It just, I couldn't find it on the flipper. I wasn't hitting it. That seemed like an issue too. Just really kind of surprising things about the game where you can't hit ramps. There's 2 ramps in the game. You can't hit them. Now, I'm saying this as a player who's ranked in the top 1,000. I've been playing for 8 years. I play a lot of pinball. I'm a good pinball player. If I'm having trouble with these shots, then what the hell does that say for everybody else to have a hope of hitting them, you know?
Yeah. It's I didn't find the game to be particularly satisfying to shoot, I would say. There's some things about it that I like. I think the design of the scoop is really smart because it's got there's a space behind it. It almost never rejects if you put it in there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna go in.
It eats like some of the momentum.
Yeah, so like it can go behind the scoop and then fall in. I thought that was smart. The little turnaround ramp, from what I understand, they redesigned that. It was originally pretty tough to hit, but
I like that shot too. The quick turnaround, that's kind of cool.
It was like really hard to drain the first one I played on.
Yeah, it's a longer playing game. It's so hard to drain. I'm with you there.
It's got a center post. It's got an outlane saver, kind of like, think of the Escape to the Depths or whatever it is on Pirates, or Escape the Locker. But it's really easy. Like, it's angled for the ball to go in it better. And it's also got 2 outlane saver stand-up targets. There's a lot of ways to save the ball on this.
No, I wasn't getting a lot of the saves from the outlanes. I just wasn't draining so much.
Yeah.
And again, we played a couple of them, and I found that to be the case. So I don't know. I mean, is it designed? Maybe it's just designed to be a longer playing, and that's how long it takes to get through the game.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
It's just an observation.
And code could, necessitate that.
Right.
So. But yeah, it was a longer playing game. It was not terribly fast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to use the word floaty, but there wasn't a lot of action on the ball or necessarily excitement with it.
Yeah, it reminded me of Houdini in that way, where it was just like, I don't know, the area around the flippers was kind of slow. Like, it didn't. Yeah, it's just like must be whatever mechanics they're using or whatever.
Maybe
it's just the style of their game.
It seems better than Houdini. I mean, this seems as their second game. Mm-hmm. I would definitely say they're going in the right direction. This is a legit pinball company.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of things about that product that is quality, mm-hmm. and they do well, and they do better than maybe some other companies out there. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the favorite part of the pinball machine. Kevin, why don't you kick this off?
I don't want to.
What do you really love about that game? What sells it for you?
It's the display.
This display. Okay, talk to me about the display, Kevin. What do you like about it?
Nothing. It's
Nothing.
Bad. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
How bad?
Probably one of the worst displays I've ever seen.
One of the worst displays, be honest. Is it the worst?
I'm trying to think of one.
What's
that
worse?
Thunderbirds is worse.
Well, that's a DMD.
Yeah.
Let's compare apples to apples.
What's a bad one? I mean, Houdini's not that great either.
Oh, Houdini's. So it's only rivaled by its
sister.
Yeah.
Pinball machine. Yeah. No, display animation's not their strong suit, obviously.
Oof. That's a nice way of putting it. We were just laughing. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. We were just laughing at it sometimes. It's like I would point to them and Kevin's like, "Are you kidding me?"
It's cringy.
Like,
it's cringy.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's to the point. Well, I told Nick I was like, I wouldn't have this in my house because it's so bad.
Hopefully, somebody in your team's like, "That sucks." I'm sorry. It's really bad. And I think one of the issues is the rest of the game is just quality there.
Right.
Quality art, quality materials and stuff. And the display is just so craptastic.
Yeah. And I get the argument that's probably the least important of all of the things in a pinball machine. But when it's like a $7,000 game,
it's jarring,
and you're going to have that in your lineup next to a JJP game, or even the more recent Stern games look great.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, man,
they gotta step it up.
You gotta hire and Alice Cooper, which we're going to talk about. The display on that's awesome.
Sure, not everything has to be like Jersey Jack. Okay, I not everybody can be JP to win and invest that kind of time and energy. I get it, but this is just like. There's mobile things on your phone that look 10 times better than this.
Yeah, to hire a motion graphic artist and get on with it.
Yeah, that's the huge weak spot, and not good. Laughable. Sorry.
Yes. All right.
That's our hot take for Oktoberfest. And if you had to rate it right now, Kevin, and this, like, again, this is not our review or ratings, but where would this fall into?
Maybe like a 5 or 6.
I'm with Kevin on that.
Yeah.
Without hearing the sound.
Yeah. It's a hot take. We don't have
a
lot of. We've only played a few games on it.
I guess I would have to give it like a 2 if there's a shot you can't make.
Right.
Right. That's really an issue. I'm like going to give it the benefit of the doubt. They'll fix that, or something's up.
Because they still aren't in full production yet, right?
Yeah, I hope not, because that ramp needs to. I don't understand what's going on with it. Anyways, that's our hot take on Oktoberfest by American Pinball.